Morning, Gypsy. Gypsy, where's your ball? Where's your ball? You got it. Oh, you got it. You got it. She's been so silly this morning. She's been playing like a puppy. Can I have it? Can I have it? Ready? No coffee. You can make more. Ready? You're so cute.
Hey! Look what I got in the mail on Saturday.
Dummies for German.
Dummies for German. So it says. No, it doesn't say that. I feel like I have plenty of resources now.
You should start your own vlog on learning German.
Hey guys. Hey Leute, ich lerne Deutsch. Und dir? Oh, it'll probably be und Ihnen.
You should act like you actually enjoy the language, though.
Hey Leute. Wie geht's?
What did you say?
Ich brauche schlafen.
What does that mean?
Miranda versteht's nicht.
What does that mean? I don't know this language. Oh no.
Oh, I should probably translate. The first one, I forgot what I said. The second one, I said Miranda doesn't understand.
Oh, that's so true.
But what did I say before that? I need sleep.
Oh.
I don't actually. I got plenty of sleep last night.
Me too. Good morning. Today is January 30th, and today I get to present my story for public speaking, which I'm kind of nervous about, but you know, that's okay. Yesterday I spent quite a bit of time practicing my speech, and the story I wanted to tell ended up taking me like 10 or 15 minutes to tell, so I had to cut it down to like 5 minutes. And actually a little bit less than 5 minutes, because 5 minutes is the top limit of time for our speech. So yes, wish me luck. I'm excited but nervous. I think it'll be good. I will be videotaping it because I get extra credit for that, so awesome. So I'll share that with you guys too. Yay! This is gonna be great.
It's so funny. Miranda gave the speech to me, and I was like, wow, that was good. That was less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes. I'm like, it has to be less than 5.
You said that less than 10. So.
No, I said less than 5.
Hey, that was great. That was less than 45 minutes.
Silly.
All right, I'm ready once the class is quiet. Okay.
Alright, so back in September and October of this past year, I went over to Australia and New Zealand for a month-long trip. I went specifically to go see birds and other wildlife. It was the trip of a lifetime. I've always dreamed of going, and I finally got to go. It was amazing. So today I want to share with you a story of my favorite animal encounter I had on this trip. It was the final 2 days of our trip when we were in New Zealand. We were staying at a place called Bethel's Beach, which is the most spectacular beach I have ever seen. Just imagine a mile-long black sand beach with towering cliffs on either side, dotted with caves. which all backed up to rolling sand dunes covered in thick sea grasses. There were seabirds and all kinds of wildlife, people walking, coming and going, people riding horses on the beach. It was amazing. Our cottage was up on top of the cliffs, and when we first arrived, we got to talking to the owner. And he told us that down on the very far end of the beach, there was a large tidal cave that you could only access at low tide. During high tide, it was full of water and you couldn't get into it. And he said that if you go there in the daytime, you might just see penguin footprints. I was so excited. I love penguins. I've always loved penguins. I used to collect figurines of penguins and stuffed animals when I was a little child. So I was like, penguins? There's penguins on this beach? And he said, yeah, sure thing. They're called the little blue penguin. They're the world's smallest species of penguins. But don't get your hopes up because you won't see them during the day. They only come on shore at nighttime. Well, I still had to go check this out for myself. So the next morning I went down to the beach, walked the mile all the way down to the end, and there was this huge cave. He wasn't kidding. Have you guys ever seen the old Pete's Dragon movie? With Elliot, Pete, you know the cave they go and hide in? It was just like that. It was huge and it went way back. And I went into the cave and I had my flashlight, and sure enough, way in the back in this little alcove, there were little penguin footprints in the sand and little indentations where they had laid their little bellies down to sleep. I was so excited. So I decided in that moment that I needed to come back that night, just on the off chance I might actually get to see a wild penguin. So about 7 o'clock that night, I came back. The sun was already set, and there was just enough dim light on the horizon where I could just make out where I was walking and just barely see the edges of the cliffs. So I walked the whole mile down in the dark, and just as I was arriving at the mouth of the cave, something else was also arriving. I switched on my flashlight, and sure enough, there was a little blue penguin. We were both shocked, and I quickly shut off my light and stood there real quiet in disbelief of what I had just seen. After a moment, I turned the light back on, and he was gone. Had I just imagined that, or was there really just a penguin right there? I quietly snuck into the cave, scanning my light across the sand and rocks. And there he was, up against the wall, already hunkered down, ready to sleep for the night. I settled myself down onto a rock, and I watched him, and he watched me. He didn't really seem scared, but definitely cautious, kind of like, what is this girl doing here? Is she going to eat me, or is she just going to leave me alone and let me sleep? But after a moment, he became curious. He stood up and tiptoed closer to me and peeked his little head around the rock and kind of said to himself, nah, maybe not. And he scurried back over to the wall and laid back down. And I just sat there in complete amazement, just soaking in the surreal moment. Here I was, sitting in the dark, in a cave, in New Zealand, fellowshipping with a penguin. After about 10 minutes or so, he got tired of observing me and decided he was going to go on back to the cave. He stood up and scurried into the dark. I took that as my cue to leave, and I couldn't have been better timing, because just as I left, the waves were starting to lap against the mouth of the cave. Also, while I was in the cave, a huge cloud of fog had enveloped the beach, leaving my flashlight useless. It was basically blind, and I had to walk back to the car park just listening to the sound of the waves to navigate my way. But even with that inconvenience, I was still on cloud 9, so thrilled at what I had just experienced. And in that moment, I said to myself, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And that is when I decided to go back to college and get my degree in wildlife conservation. So here I am, standing in this classroom before you today, and it's all thanks to a little blue penguin I met in a cave. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you. Ooh. Oh my gosh, I did it. I did it. First major speech is over with. I was so nervous. I haven't had a chance to watch the video yet. I think I did a really good job though. I don't think I forgot anything. I think I presented it fairly well. I felt pretty well prepared, but I was super nervous. I came down, went and sat down, and my hands were literally shaking like this. My whole body was just pumping with adrenaline. I was just so nervous. I was the third to go, so that was great. I didn't have to wait too long before I presented mine, which was great. I think I'm gonna try to aim to be one of the first few every time. It's good. It's good to go ahead and just get it over with, honestly. That it helps a lot just to get it over with, and then you can just relax the rest of the class and actually take time to actually learn from what other people are doing. And we had to do critiques for everybody, just a little tiny little cards that, you know, we had to write a couple things they did really well and one thing that they could use improvement on. So I have a whole bunch of those cards. I'm gonna go home and read them and see what people thought. But yeah, it was good. I feel like this almost adrenaline crash. Like I feel like I could go and take a nap right now, which in fact I might go do that. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I felt it was gonna be. Hi. Hi. I'm eating Pringles. I just read all my critiques. Overall, people seem to like it. I did talk a little fast. That was one of the main critiques. I said and like a little bit, these are all problems I know I have. Somebody didn't like the way I looked. I don't know what was up with that, because I felt like I looked pretty fine today. This is like my favorite shirt. Leopard print, cheetah print, whatever. That's okay. Can't please everybody. I think I did good. I'm happy. I'm excited to see what my teacher has to say. Alright guys, I'm getting ready to wrap things up for the night. I'm putting on some tea water, and then I'm going to settle down and do some of my homework that's due tomorrow. Homework that I probably should have done already, but with my speech that I did today, I did a lot of preparing for it yesterday and pretty much nothing else. So yeah, I'm going to get on to statistics and critical thinking. A couple final thoughts for the day. I am thinking about going ahead and lightening my hair back up, and would like to try to go platinum again. But the first order of business is to take the blue out of my hair. So I'm going to be trying a couple different methods to lift the blue out of my hair before trying to bleach it, because it's really best if I don't like just bleach the parts that are already bleached. So if I can get the blue out without bleaching it, that would be great. So I'm going to be doing a separate video all on this particular method that I'm trying, but I already bought stuff that requires using Head & Shoulders shampoo or any sort of dandruff zinc-based shampoo and vitamin C tablets. So stay tuned for that. I should be doing that within the next couple days. We'll see how well that works. I am especially curious to see how it works with my dreadlocks. Anyways, guys, thank you for sticking with me today as I did my speech. If you guys have any advice, constructive criticism while watching my speech, I would greatly appreciate it. I am trying to get an A in this class, so if you have any pointers or anything that will help me to be more relaxed and help me with my pacing, anything like that, I am opening up the comments down below to constructive criticism, and I would really appreciate it actually. So thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Mwah! I love you all. Bye-bye.